Hello, everybody. Welcome to our second in a series of town hall events with Lyndon Lab executives at the SL22B celebration. Throughout the end of the week, we're going to be chatting with lots of various Lyndon Lab executives and team members to learn more about the past, present, and future of Second Life. Be sure to join us later this week for opportunities to hear from our marketing team, the Moles, and even Second Life founder Philip Rosedale. For today, though, we are pleased to be joined by two key members of the product and engineering teams. Topics on tap today include updates about our mobile app, creator tools, viewer improvements, and much, much more. With me today is the Senior VP of Product and Engineering, Grumpity Linden, and the Director of Engineering, Web and Platform, Kali Linden. Welcome.
Why, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Well, it's great that you're both here. Why don't each of you give a quick introduction, a little bit about yourselves? Grumpity, would you like to go first?
Sure. So I am Grumpity, the Senior VP of Product and Engineering. I've been shaping Second Life's future since 2009. I started out as a contractor. I've been full-time Lyndon since 2014. I would like to say I never look back. I look back a lot and I marvel at how much Second Life has changed, grown, and evolved. And what an amazing and awful kind of responsibility we have here. But also, it's just super fun to be here as well.
Great. Kali, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kali. I'm the Director of Web and Platform at Lyndon Lab, and I've been with the company for about 10 years, on the Second Life side for about 5. My teams focus on the web, the tools, the accounts, and the platform, and I'm focused on trying to modernize our technology stack, improve our user experience, and support the infrastructure that keeps Second Life thriving.
Amazing. Fantastic. I have a couple questions before we get into the user submitted questions, just to kind of get us set here. First of all, for both of you, what has been a highlight for you working here at Lyndon Lab and Second Life for the last year?
Ooh, there's been a lot of fun stuff, and I think Kali and I were talking about this earlier. There's really been a focused and concerted shift at Lyndon to work closer with the creator community, and as part of that, we got to go to GDC, which was super fun. Kali?
Yeah, it was really energizing to get to spend so much time with so many of our amazing creators and find people at GDC on the Expo floor that had been to Second Life, that were remembering it, that were trying it for the first time. The energy of talking to our residents and our users is really infectious, and it's a great way to help us remember how awesome this platform is.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe share with us a little bit about what kinds of things both of you work together on.
Well, while Kali's teams cover a lot of ground, there's a few things that we cooperate on in particular. Some of them are things like account security, where we try to find ways to keep you safe without disrupting your ability to get into Second Life. And that is something we're actually actively involved in right now. But Kali, do you want to give an overview of all the things?
Yeah. So my teams are responsible for marketplace and web search and events and accounts, auctions, Linden Homes, region purchasing, transactional security and accuracy, AWS maintenance and cost efficiency, and support tooling, asset delivery, and storage. So thinking about all of the stuff that you have in your inventory and imagining all of the people that are in Second Life and have just as much stuff in their inventory, how big could Second Life's databases be keeping track of all of that inventory? It's a pretty big job, and we like to try and maintain that storage a bit so that it is accessed efficiently and doesn't end up costing too much.
So basically, you're very busy, and that's a lot of stuff to cover. I cannot imagine the amount of stuff and responsibility that's a lot. Grumpy, do you want to add anything on your end?
Yeah, there's a lot of these things kind of are not super visible. It's not like we're going to publish a blog when we say we added support tooling so that the support team can better address your needs when you reach out and want to ask questions about some new functionality that we added. But as part of new features that we build, for example, there's a component that has to do with support tooling. And a lot of this work is kind of invisible and not particularly glorious, but is the backbone of keeping operations going. But one that is very much visible, for example, is working on subscriptions and subscription levels. So as we started visioning kind of what is a way that we could really add value to a subscription, and we're coming up with the ideas for Premium Plus, Kali and I work very closely together to understand how we can do that. Recently, we've been working on something not quite as major, but maybe some new changes to subscriptions that will be coming up.
I'm intrigued. I may circle back to that before the end of the session here. All right, we have a lot of community submitted questions that have come in. Overall, across all sessions, we had over 100. And what I've done for today is we've grouped together by topic and theme the questions. So rather than read the exact questions, we're going to address the answers by topic. And let's start where we got a lot of questions about web and tools. And Kali, I know this is in your domain. So let's start with you. Among the biggest things we are hearing about in that bucket are questions about the marketplace. Can you share us a little bit about that, please?
Certainly. So you've probably noticed that we're working on making the marketplace more mobile friendly. We know a lot of people like to browse and shop on all kinds of screens, and I can imagine somebody scrolling through PrimFeed and seeing a great new outfit that they want to go purchase on the marketplace. I want them to be able to do that easily right from their phone without having to send the link somewhere else or remember it when they get to their desktop. Or, mobile marketplace doesn't mean just tablets and phones. It can also be when you're opening marketplace in the in-world browser. We want it to be able to be small enough so that you can stay part of the action while you're shopping. So you may want to be watching a race in a racing region and still picking out your new vehicle for the next turn on the track. You can open Marketplace in a smaller window and have it still be usable.
Okay, now these are shopper side improvements, I'm assuming, right? So, but what about merchants?
Well, I have been thinking about the merchants for a long time, and as you know, we bought Casper Vend a while back. So we would like to integrate Casper Vend into the marketplace. My goal is for you to be able to manage your inventory for your shops for Casper Vend and your marketplace shop in the same place. Casper Vend itself already has some awesome tools that Marketplace doesn't have yet, like coupons, sales, and gift cards, and we want to bring those features over to Marketplace. Not just bring over, we want to expand on those systems. I've got ideas as well about making Marketplace simpler to manage your inventory and import new listings as well. And I know that merchants like data, so I want to give them better reporting. And yes, for both the shoppers and the merchants, we have heard your feedback about marketplace search loud and clear. We know we need to surface great new items without hiding legacy gems, and we're working on finding that balance. Also, somebody specifically asked about a back to the top button, and our designers have definitely seen that question, and they're not opposed, so that could be coming in the foreseeable.
Wow, okay, thank you. You're also, let's talk a little bit about the Second Life web. I know your experience doesn't stop in world. Share with us a little bit about what's going on there.
Well, I think that the Second Life web should be an extension of your Second Life. So a web-based way to view and possibly even manage your inventory a calendar for our events system that works in world as well, better permissions systems. Um, for me, all of that makes sense to be part of the vision, the long-term vision for Second Life Web. Imagine being able to manage your groups and friends from the web without having to log in, or browsing upcoming events with filters to find exactly what you're looking for. And when I say filters on events, almost everywhere else in Second Life has a maturity filter, and I know that the events page doesn't, and it should. Um, Editing and tagging and sorting your inventory from your couch with a cozy show playing in your background instead of having to have the whole desktop app running just to make sure your shirts are in your shirts folder. That kind of quality of life improvement are the things that I'm always thinking about. I think that Second Life could be expanded to, not just require a viewer to be managing your Second Life.
One more thing, how can we help you share the magic of Second Life?
Well, I think that people keep asking for gifting of premium membership levels, and I think that's a great idea. Tools for venue owners and creators to promote their spaces and the stuff that they're selling, and even possibly ways to reward friends for coming to join you in World, or shareable marketplace gift cards. We've heard all of those requests, and they fit into that bigger picture of Second Life, making Second Life a more connected place that's easier to share with the people you care about.
Thank you, colleague. Grumpity, let's shift to you and talk a little bit about the mobile app, the vision, where we are now, and where we're going.
I love talking about the mobile app. The vision, it is, sometimes we have our stand-ups, we talk about the next sprints of work that we have for the mobile app, and we get kind of caught in the day-to-day, and then occasionally we'll have a conversation where we go, but wait, look at how much we have accomplished. When we were starting out, nobody believed it was actually possible to get Second Life avatars to render correctly on a mobile phone. And yeah, it turned out it really is very difficult to get all the Second Life avatars to look right on a mobile phone. But we've been making huge strides in that, and the team is actually currently working on a change that should improve the performance of that. There's a lot in kind of when we talk about what is our 3-year vision for Second Life Mobile. We both have a platform that allows our existing users to kind of stay in touch with their Second Life, to do a lot of the things that they have to get a desktop for today, to switch easily between mobile and desktop without getting logged out, to stay in touch with their friends, their customers, etc. At the same time, those things are not enough to have someone new to Second Life come in on mobile and get into what Second Life really is about. And so we're constantly considering both sides of this coin. How do we make mobile a meaningful onboarding platform, a way to see kind of a window into the larger SL universe, as well as make it a meaningful and useful companion for those who are here already. So in terms of vision, it's always a little bit of a back and forth here. We're not trying to cram all of the desktop Second Life experience into a mobile phone. What we're trying to do is to translate what Second Life is into a more compact experience, and meet people where they are. For new users, it's one thing. For someone who's been here for 20 years, it's a completely different set of features that they're looking for, and they are looking for features that mirror their desktop functionality or improve on it. Of course, when we talk to each other at an SLB event, we get very much the perspective of people who've been here for a long time. And so all of the questions we get in a session like this have to do with supporting existing functionality on mobile. And we very much see that. One of the things that is on our short to medium term roadmap is one that would allow people to log in on mobile, see all of their messages and group notifications without and kind of stay in touch, right? Like you're still logged in on desktop, but you went to the kitchen to make yourself some coffee, and you can keep talking while you're on mobile. And that requires having some features that don't exist today. So we're working together with the server team to develop a set of features that will give us persistent chat between mobile and desktop, and P0 for that matter, the Project Zero. That's a big piece of the roadmap. It's going to be there's a lot more, and in fact, we touch base a lot where we meet with each other and go, do we need to readjust our vision? What are we seeing? What are the numbers telling us? What are, of course, importantly, our residents telling us? And based on that, we set the roadmap for mobile development.
Okay, but on that point, this is relatively still early days, right? It's still a relatively young product. So how do you gather that feedback and then to inform the roadmap?
Oh, all the things. So we regularly look at the feedback portal, which I hope all of you are using. It is feedback.secondlife.com. We have regular monthly user groups. We pay attention to Discord. We go and hang out in World at the new user starting locations because we do see a steady stream of new user traffic coming through mobile. There's people out there who have heard about Second Life for years, have wanted to try it, but just don't have a desktop computer to access it. And they're coming in to try Second Life on mobile, and we want to give them a great experience and make them long-term residents. Of course, also, everybody has a phone, and it's with us all the time. And so we are also consistent users of the mobile app.
Thank you. So we've had a lot of questions about the viewer, server, and general performance of Second Life. And I know that both of you work closely with Signal Lyndon. He's for those that don't know, our Director of Engineering for Viewer and Server. Can you speak to the work that whole team has done on the viewer in the past 6 months? And for example, I know that there's been a lot of energy that's been focused on performance, improvements, etc. Can you touch in detail maybe a little bit about what it is that you're seeing so far and what can the community expect next?
Certainly. So the last 6 months or so have been a concerted effort to improve the performance of the viewer, probably even more than that. Even more than 6 months, I mean. And what we've seen is significant gains. Unfortunately, these gains came after a performance drop, and we've been trying to claw our way back ever since. We've improved performance for different platforms, for different chipsets. We're looking at crash rates, we're looking at FPS, we're looking at a variety of quality of life and performance improvements to just make a Second Life viewer easy and fun. It's a tool for you to get to your Second Life. It doesn't have to be the product in itself, right? It's just a window into the world. And so the less you have to think about it, the better. We have released several updates with performance improvements and a few fun features that we threw in as well. And we've been working very closely with the Firestorm team. We're happy to see the release that just went out yesterday, the day before yesterday, It's had a great reception. I've been hearing a lot of good feedback about it. That release incorporates like the last 6 months of our performance improvements, along with, of course, the work that the Firestorm team has been doing as well. And so we are hoping everybody will check it out. And enjoy all of the and reap the benefits. It also has WebRTC voice support, of course, and is just the way of the future.
Earlier, you mentioned the user groups. So for those that do go to the user groups and watch our alpha releases, they probably know that the team's been working on the GLTF import. Can you share a little bit of an update about that?
Yeah. We're very excited to be moving forward with GLTF Import. We want to make the import pipeline unexciting, actually. What we look for is to make the things that shouldn't be exciting in Second Life, like getting your content in, as straightforward as possible. This is the first step in that direction, and we're seeing good feedback. We're looking for more engagement from all of you, so please check out the Second Life Viewer Alpha. See what the GLTF import updates are all about. Come to user groups and give us feedback that will help us stabilize the product and get it out to production as fast as possible.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the WebRTC voice support? We've been hearing about it for some time now. What's the latest there?
Yeah, we had kind of paused on that, not completely put it down, but paused on that work a little bit as we focused on performance. We recently have picked it back up again. We're currently targeting shipping WebRTC voice support to the whole grid before the end of the summer. This should be seamless, especially now with the latest Firestorm release out. We believe that everyone will be able to have a WebRTC voice capable viewer. The quality of voice is better. The possibilities for feature development are practically endless. We intend to focus on moderation tools as the very first thing that we roll out with. These will allow landowners to set the rules on their land and to do voice moderation, which means that places you go will be more likely to have voice enabled because than the estate managers, for example. We have the ability to control anybody who decides to be a meanie pants and say unpleasant things. After that, we have a number of ideas for how to move this feature forward quite a bit. And actually, Philip is, of course, a key resource in setting the vision and the direction for voice in Second Life. He, after all, cares quite a bit about the quality and capabilities of voice in immersion. And some of the things we're looking at are AI tools that will allow a kind of an instant translation built into communication, things that enable voice to text and text to speech, which will greatly expand our accessibility. That's something that's, of course, matters to a lot of our residents and expands the accessibility and usability to broader communities. So, bright future, definitely coming. We apologize for the delay, but it's back on track.
That's great. And we may hear a little bit more about some of this from Philip tomorrow. for those that need a reminder, tomorrow he will be doing his own town hall. So hopefully people will tune in for that. There's been a lot of questions and topics we've covered today, and I do believe that there's an upcoming Platform News blog post that we're working on that will cover even more answers to your specific questions. So I guess I would just say to everyone, keep an eye on our community blog, because if we didn't get to something in this session or even in the other sessions, you might see those answered in that update coming on the blog soon. I have one final thing I mentioned earlier, or you teased a little bit earlier, something about the premiums. And so I wanted to see if I could squeeze a little bit more out of you. What is going on with premium?
Well, we were really hoping to have an update that would be ready for SLB, but it's going to take us a little bit longer to get that in place. We are thinking about how to make Premium Plus benefits accessible to a broader swath of our population. And at the same time, we hear from creators who say, you know, I am a creator in Second Life. I make Lyndon dollars. I don't need stipend. I don't want to pay for stipend. And so we've been thinking about a subscription level that would allow you to have all of the benefits of Premium Plus, but not the stipend. This would obviously also mean that you'd be paying less for it. And because there's no stipend associated with it, there may be a glorious future, although I'm pretty sure it won't be ready at the time we go live with it. But you may be able to pay for the subscription with Lyndon dollars in the future, which would be, I think, super convenient for creators. So fingers crossed. Keep your eyes and ears open. We'll talk about that as soon as we can in more detail.
Very intriguing. I'm sure our community is going to be looking for follow-up on that. Fantastic. All right. Well, I think we're at the end of our questions here. Thank you, both of you, Grumpity and Kali, for being here. And thank you to the community for all of the great questions. Do not forget that you can tune in tomorrow for a chance to meet Second Life founder Philip Rosedale. And then later this week on the stage, we will have the marketing team. And then on Friday, I believe, we have the moles. Happy SL22B, everyone. Thanks again.
Happy birthday, Second Life!
Happy SLB. Thanks.